Hey guys, Cam from Odyssey 7 Owners back again with a new DIY video. Today my friend Quinn brought over his C7 A6 with the 2.0 turbo and he wanted to install his K&N intake, so we just got that wrapped up for him here. I can show you a quick video. We got some sound clips. We're going to show you how to put it on. It's made for the A4, like the B8 A4 as well as the A6, and there's some minor differences in the install as far as what you can put in and what you can't with the heat shield. We're going to cover all that and show you what to do. Here we go.
So the first thing we're going to do is remove the mass airflow sensor plug. There's a little gray tab you just push out with something like a screwdriver or knife, and then the plug will come right off. Kind of move the wire out of the way, and then you can start to undo the clamp that holds the actual intake hose into the box. Now your stock filter is contained in the box if you didn't know that, so you're just removing the pipe that goes from the engine and the intake manifold to the box. If I remember correctly, the bolt to the clamp is a 7mm bolt if you don't feel like using a screwdriver.
And because there's no videos on how to install it, I was looking at V8 S4s getting it done. So yeah, I'm like trying to is this right? Like I'm watching YouTube as I'm doing it. Yeah. So this just pops right out, I believe.
Once you've got your hose separated from the mass airflow sensor, you're going to remove that from the airbox, and you're just going to give it a counterclockwise turn, and you'll feel it pop loose and you can pull it out. The mass airflow sensor is connected to your filter, so it'll all come out as one piece. Just set it aside somewhere safe where it's not going to fall over and damage the mass airflow sensor. After you've removed your mass airflow sensor and your filter, you can remove the actual intake box. There's no bolts holding it in. You just need to separate it from the ram air duct, and it pulls out of two grommets that are located at your frame rails underneath. But once you get it out, you just need to pull it out. Now be careful, there is the wiring harness clipped to it. Now you can see I thought it was zip tied, but it's actually clipped to a piece of metal on the box, and so you just need to pry it off with a screwdriver. Here's one of the places where the A6 is different from the A4. What you're seeing in the video is the ram air duct that K&N provides with the Typhoon kit that is supposed to replace your ram air duct. Now on the A4 it fits really well. On the A6 it doesn't fit at all, and you could see how it didn't mesh up very well. But moving on with the install, you're going to remove the rest of the intake tube at the base where it connects to the intake manifold, and once again just undo the clamp, and then it'll remove. If you're going to leave that open for a while, if you're worried about anything falling into your intake manifold, you can cover it up with a paper towel or something like that, but we didn't leave ours open enough to worry about it. Once you've removed the stock intake tube, you can take the silicone hose provided by K&N with the Typhoon kit. Go ahead and fit the clamp over the bottom of it and press it down over the intake manifold, but do not tighten it. You want to leave it loose in case you have to adjust it left or right. Once you get the rest of the kit in, you can tighten it up after it's all installed. Once you got that on there, you can move to your OEM filter and mass airflow sensor housing. You're going to remove that by taking out two Torx screws. I'm not sure how big they are, but you'll have a Torx kit if you work on Volkswagen Audi, so you'll be able to figure it out quickly. It is a larger one, maybe a T30, maybe a little bit smaller than that. But anyways, you're going to take those two screws out and remove the mass airflow sensor and the mass airflow sensor housing from the OEM filter, because this will get reinstalled into the K&N Typhoon heat shield, which you can see now. And I'm setting it up. I'm going to be attaching one of the brackets here with the provided screws. The kit does come with directions, and it lays out every single screw, washer, bracket, and piece. And make sure you read that, and you read it carefully, and you get the right bolts and the right nuts and everything together, because there are some bolts that won't fit in certain places and will only fit here. So make sure you get the right ones by reading the directions carefully. Now as you're installing all these parts, and you can see here I'm starting to fit the mass airflow sensor and housing to the heat shield, and you get the bolts through and you get the nuts on there, you don't need to tighten them down immediately. You can leave them kind of loose, get everything together, and then later on go back and tighten everything and make sure it's all lined up correctly.
He was driving along with the 5.0. In a pretty remote location, so I was like, yeah, whatever, send it. I was doing burnouts and donuts and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I wish.
So as you can see, everything's all set up on the heat shield. The mass airflow sensor and housing is attached to it. And I'm just going to go through and tighten down all the bolts while making sure the brackets that are attached are on there nice and straight and even and level with the bottom of the heat shield. And then we'll move on to putting the heat shield into the car.
She might want to, like, you're supposed.
They just put a video out, what, yesterday on so we all just moved in together.
Nice.
And
The Typhoon kit comes with a length of rubber seal that you're going to use to put around the heat shield, and it comes with enough to go around that metal ram air duct, but you're going to cut a piece that's 16 inches long and then cut another piece that's 17 inches long, and that'll leave an 18-inch piece that's left over. You're going to use the 17 and the 16-inch pieces for the firewall, and once again, the directions that come with the Typhoon kit will tell you exactly which piece goes where on the firewall.
even in the military, people struggle, so it's like,
The rubber seal that comes here for the firewall, it actually has a piece of metal inlay that you can use to clamp down over the edge of the firewall. So it's not just sitting on there via a loose grip from rubber, it's actually got metal that clamps onto the firewall to hold it there.
it's about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It starts turning like a dark brown.
That's
And it has
Yep.
we know you don't drive.
And the last thing we need to do in terms of prepping the firewall for installation is to thread the anchor bolt into the bottom of it. It's the largest bolt that comes with the kit, and you can't really push it straight through, so you're going to have to wind it through. And then we're going to move it over to the engine bay. But before you can actually install it, you have to adjust one of the grommets there, and you can see the two grommets in the firewall. There's rubber bushings that sit in there. We're going to take the one on the left out, and then the Typhoon kit provides this bushing anchor, if you want to call it that you just press in, and that's what the screw, that bolt you just put into the firewall, is going to anchor into. Now when you screw it in, the bolt will not anchor into the actual frame rail at all, it just anchors into that thing you pushed in and replaced that grommet. But before you get the firewall in there, you saw me put the clamp over the silicone hose. Go ahead and get that on there so that it's ready to go onto the mass airflow sensor housing and lock it into place there. But you can just fit it. Now the bracket you put in on the right side of the heat shield is not going to fit into the frame rail like it would on an A4. It's a little bit different for the A6, so I just let mine rest on top of the frame rail on the right side, and then eventually I anchored down the bolt on the left, and it was nice and sturdy, didn't move anywhere. We also chose to leave the stock ram air intake in place just to aid in getting fresh air to the filter, since we won't have anything that can fit to go all the way over there. But now that everything's in position in place, you want to go ahead and tighten up the clamp holding the silicone hose onto the mass airflow sensor housing. And I think this is still a 7mm bolt, but it might be an 8mm bolt that is on that clamp. But like I said, if you work on Volkswagen and Audis, you should have your metric kit ready to go. Once you've got your top clamp secured to the mass airflow sensor housing, you know everything's fitting right and not going anywhere, you can go ahead and get back to the bottom of the silicone hose and tighten the clamp holding it onto the intake manifold.
She was super nice about it. She was like, yeah, you can't have it below the AS1 line, which my car doesn't have an AS1 line, so there's that. She didn't give me a ticket or anything. She's like, just get it off. And I was like, okay. I have another one. I was gonna take that one off, probably put this in the back and shit. Probably.
The AS1 line's at the top. You don't have that?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have this part. It doesn't have it. I looked.
Once your silicone hose is secured to the intake manifold and to the mass airflow sensor housing, you can go ahead and tighten the bolt that holds the heat shield in place into that anchor point that is on the frame rail underneath it.
Down tighten, like it just tightens into that one thing there. It doesn't actually go into the frame.
Alright, next step is to put the filter on. Make sure your hose clamp is already over the filter. Press it on all the way into the mass airflow sensor housing, and then tighten up the hose clamp. And once you're done with that, you're going to move on to attaching your wiring harness and actually plugging in the mass airflow sensor into the sensor housing. And then you got to clip the wiring harness somewhere onto the metal part of the heat shield. It's got that little clamp that will stick to it, and it's pretty sturdy once you get it on there. If you need to take it off, you have to pry it off with a screwdriver. Remember, whenever you put the sensor onto the mass airflow sensor housing, don't forget to re-engage that little gray clip to make sure it's fully secured on there. Now what we found, and I'll show you both ways here, I'm attaching it there to the flat part, and that put a little bit of stress on the wiring harness. So here in the next clip you'll see me actually play with it a little bit, but that little tab that sticks out, we don't use it here because we're not using that metal ram air duct. So I just bent it out of the way and moved the wiring harness back a little bit to relieve some tension on the wiring harness. As always, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to Audi C7 owners and checking out another one of our videos. I hope this helps you guys. A note, we just passed 20,000 views on our first video uploaded, which is the bumper removal and RS grill install, and that's huge for me. This channel's only been around for about 7 months, and I'm just so appreciative of all the positive feedback we're getting. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with this video finishing up, and we got one more sound clip at the end. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell so you get notifications when we upload new videos. See you next time.